Hi there, you're probably here because your Dyson trigger has started to fail, and failing feels as if the trigger's a little bit stiff. Occasionally you press it and then it releases or it stops it, but you've still got the finger on the trigger, or it's eventually totally collapsed, and as has this one. So the most important thing to remember with this procedure is just take your time. And the good news is if you mess up on the switch, etc., or you break one of the wires, you can just replace that entire handle assembly there, which comes in about £25 on eBay used. The thing to remember is which type of battery are you taking off, because the handle is based around the battery. So you get some which are screwed with 3 screws and some which have the clip-on battery. Here is one of the screws that you need to remove. And here's another one and another one. These are the posi drive screws, very similar to Phillips, although you could actually use a Phillips to remove them. Now, when you take them out, just record them on a sheet and see where you got the screws from. And this makes it so much easier when it comes to putting it back together again. You just reverse the procedure. Now, a good thing to remember is just take your time. So first screw comes out here, and we'll put it back there. I'll write up the sheet as I go along, and be fairly straightforward. Okay, so that's the 3 screws removed, 2 at the bottom, 1 in the handle, and outside there's a little bit of a wiggle, but outside's the battery. I'll keep that safe for later. Now, there and on the other side, there you'll see 2 small screws. So we're going to remove those as well and just put them through, and then these 4 holes have also got screws as well. So we're going to remove these screws and store them on a piece of paper. Okay, so that's the screws removed. Okay, and you'll notice that these screws are that came from the top, the 4 screws. They're all at different heights. So what I do is I started from one side and worked around, because if you just pick one randomly, then one side if you don't get a screw out, you're gonna be looking. You're not going to be sure which screw you removed. So my tip here is to start on the one side and go clockwise or counterclockwise, but follow a pattern like that, okay? So 4 screws will come out there, and that will allow the handle to move away from that body, and there you go. Okay, a lot of dust there, and I do have a video on how to clean that using a compressor. It's worthwhile doing it. Okay, it's on my channel. So let's take that piece in my left hand. We're going to put that away, and we're just going to work with the bit in my right hand. Okay, so this is going to disappear. It's got seals in it. A lot of dust, as you can see. So cyclone disconnected. There's your 6 screws that we took out. And they're all screws with positive drive elements on them. Okay, there we go. So here we go. Now there's 2 screws here, and they're Torx screws and T8s, and we're going to remove them. Okay, and when we move them, we'll put them there. You can see the length of them. Okay, and this is a plaster here. I stuck this on because I had a tiny little hole there. My own fault. I was soldering something, and I burnt out a little hole there. So I stuck that plaster on just to prevent dust ingressing in there. Now, when you come to remove this white clip, there's little clips. See a little box on the right-hand side of my screwdriver. And here, again, you'll see on the left-hand side, that is a clip. I'm going to show you that a little bit better. There you go. There's the clip there. And there's the clip there. You need to elevate that plastic over one of those clips, and the other one will come away quite nicely. Okay, there you can see where the clips go in. Okay, clip and clip. Just elevate it in there with a straight edge screwdriver. So let's put that away just now. And this little thing here, I removed it and basically put your fingernail underneath it and lift out. Now you don't need to do this. That was an error. There is one later on. So here underneath this is the 2 screws there. A little bit rusty, I'm a bit surprised at that. But we're going to remove those. Again, T8s to remove. And we'll keep those 2 screws aside, and that's connecting it to the battery. Okay, that's a power supply to the battery. So off go those 2 screws, and you can see it's separated. Okay, well, I put them as torque 9s, so maybe they're torque 9s. But you know what, I think they're torque 8s, so I'm going to change it to torque 8. Okay, so keep those screws aside. Right, so the next thing we need to do is we need to disassemble it, take this wire out, or this like cabling through from the handle, so we can release that. Okay, so we need to bend this a little bit, okay, to get this out of the way. And you'll see a little connection to that circuit board. We're going to unclip that again by putting our fingernail underneath it and lifting it up, just like that one. Okay, now I'm putting this one back in, so you basically slide it on, clip it back on. Okay, so it's a little thing we can slide it on, clip it back on. A little bit fiddly when you've got only one hand, but it's got locator grooves on it. But you do not need to take that off. Okay, so this one next to the red terminal, that little thing there, get your fingernail underneath that, lift it off. Okay, so I've lifted it. I think I've lifted it off. Have I lifted it off? No, I've not lifted it off yet. There, that's the thing you need to lift off. Okay, so off it goes, lift off, disconnect it. You saw I did that, just fingernail underneath. Okay, and now that circuit board will come away nicely from the cyclone. Not from the cyclone, from the filter unit. Okay, there we go. Okay, casing off. Now, when you look here, you've got another 2 torque screws on there, T8s. So we're going to remove those, and that will allow that cabling to slide through. So here we go, your little... Oh, there. You can see those little 2 things I pointed to. Those are clips. So we need to get, again, a screwdriver on those, unclip those, and yeah. Now, these wires are thick, right? And they say that they don't break, but they do snap. The terminals snap. Okay, and here there's another screw. So it's not a torque, it's a screw. We're going to go and get that out. Okay, and we'll keep that aside. Now, look at that little trigger. That's totally depressed in there. Okay, so here we go. That's out. Okay, so I've lifted that bit out. And you can see now, I'm going to, in order to get those terminals through the handle, I'm going to have to straighten them and bend them a little bit at the end, and also that little black and red wires. That's all going to be pulled through. So in order to get this, it's quite hard to pull it through with your fingers. So you're going to pull at the terminals on the other side there, okay? And I'm going to use needle grips and just pull them through, and that will release it, okay? So we're now on to something quite easy, which is basically reverse the procedure once we've got that done. Okay, so let's pull that out. Okay, and then just basically fit the trigger on. And that trigger is pretty simple to actually work out what's gone wrong and to actually put the new one in. Okay, so it's basically unclip. You can see there, this is my trigger, and that's where it's broken. Okay, I think this will be a fault you'll come across quite often. This one I had repaired a long time ago with a bit of glue and a little bit of plastic welding. Anyway, that's going to now, we'll put the new clip on and reverse the procedure. Remember, if you do break, that's a new clip there, got it from eBay, it's about £2 or something. If you do break this, these wires, don't worry, you can always buy another handle on eBay, and that will have the clip pre-fitted. And you know what? It's actually a lot easier than actually taking things apart and fishing things through. Yeah, it's a lot easier. Thank you so much for watching this video, and hopefully you'll be able to do this repair yourself. Do subscribe to my channel. Do look at the other things that I'm doing with the Dysons, about battery life in the Dysons and whether it's actually for you. Yeah, time to get a v15, I think. Take care. Bye. Actually, one more thing is that when you put that battery, that switch will not pop out. It only pops out once you've actually inserted the battery. Okay, so now I'm going to say goodbye to you, and hopefully you'll be able to repair this and save yourself a lot of money on your Dyson. Take care. Thank you.